before I jump into playing the examples, I just want to introduce a couple of very simple principles to keep us on the path. The first one I want you to understand is the concept of melodic tension and resolution. All great melody, all great music has tension and resolution. We often hear about dominant tonic, 5-1, or diminished tonic. You know, the diminished chord resolving to a major chord or a minor tonic. These are harmonic types of tension. Polyrhythms give us rhythmic tension. There's different types of tension resolution in music. We are focused right now on melodic tension resolution, which has to do with creating little pockets of emotion and drama inside of a line that's going to resolve to another note in that line. We're all already intimately familiar with this idea. That would be melodic tension resolution. It's a pretty crummy version of it because it's really just a scale, but we can take advantage of that sensation. Drama, resolution. Bad guy, good guy. That's the first principle. The second principle is that basic, pure triads are the strongest way to organize resolution points. Meaning if we just take a simple triad, like let's say C major, and play only the notes of the C major triad, not the C major scale, it's going to sound so boring. There's no drama, there's no story, there's no tension. Right? No one's going to want to sit and listen to that for any length of time. But the moment we leave that triad and introduce another note, any other note, we now have melodic tension. And that tension note is going to want to pull back into the triad. The triad is an organized form of resolution. We have 3 notes in it. So any of the other notes that are kind of orbiting around it, as soon as we bring them into the picture, are going to want to return back into the triad. So let me play this for you for a minute so you can hear what I'm talking about. A new color, a new flavor in the meal. These are just plain pasta noodles. And then all of a sudden there's a little sauce on it. Okay, now this note I'm playing was a D note against a C major triad. C, D. D is the 2 of C. So I would call this note tension 2. My way of understanding 2. This idea that I'm introducing you right now is called a quadratonic. It's a triad with 1 tension note added to it. So it's a 4-note scale, right? A pentatonic is 5 notes, a quadratonic is 4 notes. But really, it's a way of developing our ear. We're getting to know Eeyore, we're getting to know tension 2 for its emotional storytelling purposes. It's almost impossible, assuming you can physically manipulate the guitar and aren't a day one beginner, it's almost impossible not to immediately start improvising phrases when we're thinking this way, because we're not just playing a scale, we're playing tension and resolution. We can change this tension note and we immediately get a new color, a new character, a new flavor. Here's C major tension 4. Much sharper, more shrill, more nasally, kind of whiny. Versus here's tension 2 again. It's like a little kid throwing a tantrum on an airplane. And the mom's just like, what do you want from me, guys? What am I supposed to do here? You know? yes, every note I'm playing right now is from a C major scale, but hopefully you're starting to hear that this is not just playing a scale. It's not riffs, it's not sequences, it's not patterns. I'm trying to tell a story with a different set of characters. Each one has a different emotion. Or you can think of it like being a chef and having different flavors. Here's some basil, here's some rosemary, here's some cayenne. Each one is going to provide the dish a totally different experience. Tension 6 is like throwing something up into the air. Right? Lobbing something up in the air. Emotions. This is 6 notes of the C major scale at this point. We have the 1, 3, and 5. That's our melodic triad. And then we've been testing out the 2, the 4, and the 6. These are our 3 different tension notes we've played around with so far. There's only one more tension note to explore if we want to apply this to understanding the C major scale, and that's 7. Listen to it. It's a tricky note. Sad. There's a lot of regret and melancholy in it. It's very heavy. The major 7 is a weird note. When it comes to harmony and applying these ideas to different types of harmony and jazz chords, tunes, I draw a distinction between pure major, which is just like 6 chords, major chords, add 2 chords, pure major versus major 7. They're 2 very different sounds to my ear. As soon as this major 7 sound comes into the picture, the whole emotion changes. And I'm going to play around with just tension 2, 4, and 6 for a minute. There's that major 7. As soon as that comes in, a new story is happening. They can be interchangeable, but for ear training purposes, it's important to keep a close eye on that tension 7. There's 2 ways to treat the tension 7. The first way is to treat it in that classical sense, where it's the leading tone of a major scale. So in that case, it would be different than what I was just playing. It would actually be the tension note wanting to resolve back up to C. Important to know that. That's the pure major version. The major 7 version, if you think of all the notes we're exploring right now as a solar system, where the C note is the sun, and everything else is revolving around it. In the major 7 version, the 7 is almost like a black hole that comes by and eats the entire solar system. It kind of takes over the sun here. You can actually start to hear the C note wanting to pull down to tension 7, which at that point it's not tension 7 anymore. We're dealing with a different triad now. Hear how nicely resolved that sounds? And now we're back to pure major again. What we've just done is take the concept of a quadratonic, triad plus 1 note, and we've used it to explore the C major scale. The C major scale is really just C, E, and G, the 3 notes of our C major triad, with 4 different tension notes. If you ever hear me trash talking scales, it's not the scale itself I have a problem with. The notes all work beautifully together. The issue I have with it is that we don't teach it in a musical way. We teach it, especially on guitar, in a physical way, a visual way, a muscle memory way. We teach it in every way except sitting down and really listening to the thing. By learning it this way, we're giving our ear a chance to understand what it feels like. And you'll start to notice that you're going to be able to hear melody and scales in a much clearer way, where they speak to you. You'll be able to hear attention to the D note and just feel emotionally a connection with it. They're like people. And the more we get to know those people, the more the characters become alive and the more we recognize them when they are presented to us.